Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of Warships. It's one of my replays and I'm in the Minotaur, a tier 10 British cruiser. I'm on the map the Faroe Islands. It's a 4-point domination game. There is unfortunately a sub, pure tier 10, and an enemy shimmer is relatively brave here. So this shimmer is just going in with no means of escaping, and now it's even inside my hydro, so... I have a feeling the shimmer didn't think that through. Now it's desperately trying to get away, and it basically left the hydro now, so it's trying to smoke up, but it's too late. So yeah, so basically the shimmer entered this area in cover of the island, sort of, which means it couldn't see me. And then it basically had no means of escaping when it realized that there was actually something on the other side of this island. So, not the best plan, I suppose, but good for us. Now, meanwhile, there is a Salem here that is raiding me. Now, the question is, will the Salem push in here? I don't have... Well, technically I have 3 battleships here behind me. Of course, none of those battleships is in a position to shoot at Salem right now. But if the Salem were to come around... 3 battleships might take an interest. Now, I'm no longer raided. The Salem is also close enough that if it... Oh. I am raided again. So turns out there is more than one raider here. Interesting. Now, we haven't spotted the second raider yet. It might also have approached here under the cover of islands. And maybe we'll find out who it is at some point. Now, I do have some good cover here, because the enemy ships don't seem to be in a position to hurt me. And there is the San Martin, okay. So we know where the second raider is. What I was trying to say is, if the Salem comes around, I can smoke up, assuming I'm not raided. But I can't shoot because it would be too close. But I could try to torpedo it and stay safe from its ammo piercing while in smoke screen or something like that. Now, of course, my hydro is no longer running, which means we have lost track of the Salem, and this is the time when the Salem might try something. Oh, we spotted it again.
All stations, concentrate fire on the target.
See, it's unlikely that the Salem is trying to push around here when we know it's coming and are all pre-aim, but maybe it's trying for something sneaky when we can't see it, of course. Viper has redetected it. And it looks like the Salem has decided screw this and is now trying to flee. I think that Schlieffen might have shots at it, but for the most part it's under the cover of the island. No, that doesn't help it with my torpedoes though. So the Salem tried to flee. Unfortunately for it, there was fish in the water. And it ate those fishes. Now, it doesn't look like a super heal is ready, and it is dead. I don't even need a smoke screen here, because the enemy team has deployed weirdly. So... technically there are a Yamato and a Begonia, but neither of those are in a good position to actually, you know, shoot stuff. Good for me, I suppose. Meanwhile, the enemy has taken B and A, but our team is currently flipping A. Oh, hello, Kavarovsk. So yeah, our team is flipping B, and A is probably not contested. I suppose that sub is diving. So I think we're going to lose our forces at A, but overall we are ahead 2 ships, so not a bad start. Now, I don't have a hydro ready right now, in case there are some fishes coming towards me, but I am going towards the island for some more cover. Mostly I just need to keep out of the sight of the Begonia and the Yamato. I mean, shooting a Kavarovsk that's kiting away in a Minotaur is not really that profitable, usually. I got surprisingly a lot of damage into it. But with armor piercing only, right, against an angle destroyer, even you expect a lot of bounces, and then shooting like a fast ship with slow shells gives the enemy a lot of time to dodge and wiggle out of those. Now, on the other hand, I can shoot this Yamato. I'm currently undetected, but I don't think it will remain this way. The San Martin is going in a way that it will detect me, or maybe it's even the Yamato that's detecting me. But I was prepared, I popped the smoke. Now, I was visible there for a second, but thankfully the Yamato wasn't pre-aimed with loaded guns. That would have been slightly awkward, or a major problem. However you wanna define that. Now I can just keep shooting this Yamato that is retreating. Now I suppose our team is pushing in. So I guess that Yamato got scared and it is running right into fish, I think. Meanwhile, the enemy Burgonia does wants none of that. I mean, that Burgonia has been mostly just... like, the Burgonia has been mostly focused to be as far away from everyone as possible. I think it should probably focus on, like, shooting stuff instead. But, see, like, with the Khabarovsk running away, the Burgonia is desperately trying to be faster than the Khabarovsk, so it can stay the furthest ship away from the fight. I guess people need a hobby, right? For some people, it's just to be as far away from anything as possible. Meanwhile, I'm shooting this Salmatin, and yeah, like, I mean, might not be a heavily armored cruiser, but with my armor piercing and shell travel time, let's just say I'm not the most effective here, but it's fine. We have 3 battleships pushing in. Now RPF is pointing towards B. I presume that the Z and or maybe the sub are going for B, and I mean there's no point in chasing that Burgonia. And the Khabarovsk is possibly coming back in, but it's still a little bit too far away to properly engage. It's also not really doing anything too problematic right now. Now taking care of that sub that is now inside the camp will be more important. Now we have a Daring there, and Daring has Hydro, so if the Daring accidentally sails on top of the sub, it will even know it and be able to drop depth charges. Of course, it needs to accidentally sail on top of it first. Or maybe if the sub keeps pinging, then the Daring can actually go there and give us some information like that. Meanwhile, it also looks like the set's here, so it's a party. Thankfully, there is only the Burgonia left as a battleship, and while it can shoot me from those 20 kilometers away, it might just be busy with the Schlieffen. So at this point, I'm probably just going to charge in. I do have my Hydro ready, I haven't used it yet because the Daring in front of me is actually Hydroing. Although we are quite a bit apart, so torpedoes from an odd angle might still catch me off guard, I guess. And there is the sub actually. So the Daring has found the sub because the sub keeps pushing in. The sub, realizing it's spotted, seems to be surfacing for a shotgun. Or a ram. No, it's not surfacing fast enough to actually shotgun the destroyer, so instead it's going to shotgun our battleship, I suppose. So that sub is dead, but its fish is on the way, and I feel sorry for our Montana. Because, yeah, the Montana is never going to dodge this. And it's dead. Well, so is the sub though. The set, meanwhile, is fleeing. Because it saw what's coming for it, and it wants none of this. Yeah, the enemy team is basically done for, except for obviously this Burgonia that's still surprisingly healthy there. It's almost like if it never fought anything. Okay, so I'll probably just push more towards A here. Maybe we can intercept the scent. SJR has quite a lot of adrenaline rush here. The Khabarovsk might, like, I think the Khabarovsk is going for the Schlieffen. Or maybe it's just open water gunboating. I mean, the Khabarovsk at least is trying, I guess. And it is on very low health. We can try to sneak a few shells over there, see if I can get lucky there. I mean, you know, shooting a Khabarovsk at this range, it's not very easy, so I have to give so much lead that I can barely see. I mean, I can always zoom out, honestly. But this is fine, this is fine. And, oh, I actually got it. Well, there we go. That just leaves the Burgonia. And in, well, in possibly the most aggressive move yet, the Burgonia is not... Well, I mean, it's sailing straight away from the Schlieffen. It's sailing more like perpendicular, I guess, to the majority of our forces. I mean, it sort of missed a turn here, right? It could have gone straight up. I mean, it can't go to A1 because there is a massive island there. So it is actually getting close enough that I could torpedo it if this game would last long enough. But I mean, at this point, I'll just stop here, smoke up, and shoot a little bit. You know, I suppose I actually can get quite a bit of damage in here as well. Because it is not really angled, and obviously it's already turning away. I don't even think I need to bother with torpedoes, right? This game is never going long enough. Well, I guess it got some damage into me here. But it's not gonna change anything. So, this game had a very exciting start with, I think, the Shimakaze and the Salem, and there was quite a bit of fun there. And then it went a little bit, well, in the end it was just cleaner work, I guess. But nevertheless, fun game in the Minotaur. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you next time.